Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Jedi Academy. We're here at FFG Worlds 2017 for our second game of our coverage. We've got Andy Hornby on the left, running dark side, Ethan Anderson running light side. Callum, what are they running?
So Andy's running the same deck as we saw in the previous game, his Navy deck, and Ethan is running a kind of a Spark variant deck. Basically, the only real changes is he's running a Secret of Yavin 4 and a Mysteries of the Rim, and only one Asteroid Sanctuary. But everything else is the standard kind of light side deck from Worlds, really.
Okay, alright, so Andy with the standard Navy is probably just going to be looking up to build a big board, resource heavy, and just, well, can turn quite aggressive later on. But generally he's trying to build up quite a big board, defensive, lots of resources, and then go for that big kill once the dial gets up to 6, 7, 8. I've actually noticed Andy, in the last game, he's quite aggressive with his Navy. I found he sort of likes to get those bits of damage in when I'd often be thinking, I think I might leave my gladiators back.
Yeah, Andy's quite big on that. I've noticed he does swing in. Sometimes that really pays off for him, but I've seen sometimes a few tricks have caught him out in the past.
Yeah, especially some of these light side decks are so bursty. They can easily take out a couple of objectives almost from an empty board. Once you start getting double striking Zebs, Spark, bringing in some units, it can do a lot of damage very quickly. And he's got Falcon. Again, adds even more burst potential.
Yeah. So Andy's flipped into Might of the Empire, Endor Entrapment, and Entrenched Defenses. So he's probably the only one he's probably not happy there with. Really, is Endor Entrapment. He probably wanted Tarkin Doctrine or Tech Terror, maybe.
With Entrenched Defense, you often want a big, powerful objective there.
Yeah.
To direct away from, but it's still helpful just to have that 6 health objective.
Exactly. And Ethan, he's probably pretty happy with his, to be honest, with Spark, Last Warrior, and May the Force.
Yeah, you generally don't get much better than that. Maybe a Gamor, but
yeah, just to help cycle that top card for Spark. But I think they're probably both pretty happy with their objectives, and I'd say Andy's very happy with his first turn deployment.
Yeah,
and at least he's going to get one use at that mouse droid, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually notice, but I think Ethan did pick up that he should be using Spark as soon as the mouse droid hit the board.
Yeah, I think
just in case he saw that Spark unit to turn off that mouse droid.
Yeah, I think he did Spark as soon as the mouse droid hit the table. He sparked. So.
That's the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, so
generally,
he's already sparked now, which I like to wait for Spark until I'm in my conflict phase. The last thing
exactly
maybe to do.
If you've got no way of changing that top card, you might as well wait. In fact, it looks like he's got a child in his hand.
Yeah.
So. It may have been useful to get that down to have a look before, and then he would have known if there was a unit coming in or not.
So it doesn't look. Oh, he has got Zeb in hand. So
yeah,
but he looks like he's going to just try and build a bit of a board. I wouldn't have thought Zeb's going to do much to this, is he? He'd probably attack in, and then next turn Andy would just probably throw a load of focus on him. So he's gone for the event cancel and a child.
Yeah, it's not a bad start. I think Zeb's going to be more useful later.
Yeah, I think the thing
when you've got a bit more on the board.
Yeah, it looks like Ethan just drew 3 economy cards. That's the 3 limited economy cards. That's probably not helped him this turn at all.
Yeah. And going in with the Children of the Force, it looks like.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's gone in against.
I wonder if he's just so he could try and get that lightsaber deflection off.
I think you might be right. I think it's kind of hoping to catch Andy out here.
You could kill that mouse droid. You could put an extra damage on Mythal. That could work quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. He maybe could have played Zeb just to turn off that mouse droid.
Yeah, if you'd had Zeb out, you could have maybe you'd be turning that mouse droid off, and you could have deflected into the engineer.
Yeah.
But it.
Yeah. So he's going for the engineer anyway.
I think
it's not a bad idea because then he's only got the 3 resources for next turn.
Yeah, that's definitely where I would have put it. So yeah, it's still okay. So he lost edge. So
yeah, he takes locks down 3PO, and that's all he can really do. And he can't take the Force now.
He's got May the Force. Oh yeah,
but
he's only got one pick.
So he's just committing the Children of the Force just to have a defender.
Yeah, I suppose it's in case Andy does a security team. At least he can still defend with something, because his spark isn't going to work this turn, because it's still the same card. So what do you think?
So it's quite interesting because we've generally gone down the route of with Spark it's all about getting that card, the card draw, so you can cycle the top card of your deck. Now he has got Gamor in there, and obviously you just didn't see it.
Yeah.
But we found you really want a lot in your deck that can change that top card.
Along the Gamor Runs, I think one of the main ones he's got, isn't it? And Asteroid Sanctuary if you've got it on the table.
Yes, so he's got one of those as well. So maybe he's not quite seeing that the objective to go with Spark.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he was thinking about stopping the mouse droid, but decided to let that go. I mean, the mouse droids are just crazy units, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's just the card advantage, if anything.
Yeah. And I think it's saved Andy this turn, really, hasn't it? Because I
didn't quite see what he had.
I think before that he only had 2 Chimera.
Yes.
So that mouse droid's just allowed him to play the Cruisier.
Oh yeah, the Cruisier.
So that mouse droid saved Andy's turn there, actually. So yeah, I think Andy's in a real nice position here. So do you think he would go in here with the the cruiser?
Might be worth bringing in the children just to force Ethan to block.
Yeah.
He's not in a lot of danger from that child, so I would say bring it in, get rid of it.
Yeah. That's what I think I would do as well.
Yeah.
You're going to get an unopposed damage as well, which just helps you.
No, well, he's taken the Force.
Taken the Force.
Kept the Force. Just let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad that, for Andy, that Ethan's used up one of his Force cards on they're 1 pips, aren't they? I think.
Yeah,
children?
1 pip. Yeah, 1 pip.
Yeah. So that's not bad for him, and obviously that's another card that you can't use. May the Force be with you. So I can understand that.
Yeah, you're going to need quite a big unit in out really to take the Force back.
Yep.
So what do you think Ethan's looking for here? Do you think he's looking for...
Well, we know he's got Zeb still.
So probably Zeb and a Yoda Usik Yoda would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be great.
But a nudge, that's not too bad. It's going to help slow this
yeah, I mean, a nudge is never going to be bad. It's not going to slow down putting Zeb and Yoda out anyway.
No.
I mean, so Zeb hasn't got targeted strike at the moment.
No. And I think it's going to be hard because Andy has got another enhancement in hand as well, so it's might be difficult to get Zeb turned on.
Yeah.
It's something I've actually noticed playing recently is Navy can get so many enhancements out.
Very hard to keep up with them, definitely.
Yeah, nothing on units, but yeah, they're quite often getting at least one resource enhancement out every turn, aren't they?
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
This is why you need a desperation against them.
You're giving away all your best moves, Darren. That secret desperation you always have.
Okay, so is Ethan going to the conflict here?
Possibly. Can't quite see what he's got in his hand. So he's potential for a bamboozle.
Yeah.
Potential for a Yoda you seek Yoda.
He's obviously thinking.
I can't see anything. Not sure what that fourth card is in his hand. Oh, it's another nudge.
Yeah. And I think he's got the enhancement that is it that the enhancement that makes people elite?
Right, yes. So from Mysteries.
Yeah, I think that's what it does. So it looks like he's just going to
the Nim in training.
Just go and take the Force.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So it's a good
The
job
problem he's got is he's used all his Force cards now on not great pip units, and May the Force is effectively blank now, unless he loses one of those units. No, maybe he had no other option in his hand.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to attack into this.
No.
So he's probably just trying to get as many units on the board as he can. He's got 3PO to protect from moment Triumph.
Yeah. He's got good answer to those mouse droids now. Those.
Well, and he can't
3PO.
And he can't trigger them anyway, can he? Because Zeb's on the board.
Oh yes, Zeb's out now, isn't he?
So it looks like Andy's just ramping out the resources now. And early warning. That's such. He's so happy with that high bet, especially when he's got Chimera in hand as well.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful enhancement.
So that's.
I'm not sure if Navy quite needed it.
No, no,
it's good.
I think that's a very nice turn for Andy there.
Yes, that's not bad. So I suppose the question is, I suppose he could go in with Chimera. He could still commit Chimera if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And Ethan's then going to struggle to take the Force back. I mean, I suppose Mythal's enough anyway, just to take it.
Well, would you in this situation send Chimera in and the cruiser, and then force Zeb to block?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Zeb's the danger. I mean, there's nothing else on that board you're worried about apart from Zeb.
No. So if he did that, we've already seen the lightsaber deflection's already gone. So they're both pretty safe unless he's got, something.
I think you might be right. I think that might have been a good play.
Yes. And then in that deployment, you could get the mouse droids kicking in again.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to. He wouldn't even need to commit to take the edge because he's got no tactics the other side.
Yeah.
Chimera or the Cruisier could have just taken the damage.
Yeah.
And then Zeb would have just had to have died basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would have been a good call.
But I think Andy's probably still very happy with that. He's freed up that commitment card, but he's pretty much finished Spark off now. That's going to be gone next turn.
Yeah.
But Ethan got another buy rifle. We've got a buy rifle and that discard card, so it's something Andy will have to try and keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
And very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's such a good card. I think Zeb's set. I just think the whole set just is so well balanced. It's a really good set. It just doesn't seem overpowered, but it just seems to be very, very well balanced, and every card has a bit of an upside and a downside to it.
Yeah. So Andy's gone in with a mouse droid here for.
That's it. We've all done it. We've all won a game with a mouse droid.
Is this what Andy's trying to do here?
Yeah.
So
not doing anything else. So that's true. If he'd gone in with the cruiser and brought in Zeb, those mouse droids could be doing work in Ethan's turn. Then couldn't they?
Yeah, it would be very good.
Or if he pulled in 3PO, just to
get rid of him.
So he can get rid of him. He can then start playing events.
It's a very nice combination. Sometimes people won't commit to throw 3PO. If you pull him in, that's beautiful. Kill him off when you want him.
Yeah.
So I would have thought Ethan's going to defend this. It's the last engagement of the turn.
Yeah.
He can't focus Zeb out, so he's defended with Zeb. This is just a free kill from Ethan on this mouse droid, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it didn't really gain anything for Andy there.
No. I wonder if he's asking Andy if he wants to discard any cards. I always do. Just always ask, always trigger him, so you don't forget when it does matter. So I think Andy thought he had another engagement there. It looked like he went to attack with Mythil, and Ethan quickly reminded him that
just like, nope.
You've done your 3. So
that's it. Yeah.
So he's taken the Force and then unfocused Chimera.
Yeah, good. Didn't forget his trigger.
Yeah.
That's an easy one to forget.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure we've all done
But that's
it.
He's gone in. He's done 3 attacks, but still look at that board he's got to defend with. I mean, if you count mouse droids going in as an attack.
But Ethan hit Spark for the first time this game.
Yeah.
So he's probably fairly relieved a little bit that it's actually hit for a change. So I think Ethan needs to do some damage.
Ooh, this is interesting.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I would put that there.
Well, it means Andy's got to go in with Chimera again, and it does come back to hand, remember. So
yeah,
he's already got.
It can be helpful.
He's already got his 5 resources if he wants to play Falcon out at some point.
Yeah.
So he's just played that enhancement. So it looks like he's got another Zeb in hand.
Yeah, not what he wanted really. It's surprising he's not seen Yoda yet.
Yeah. I think that's about all he... Looks like that might be all he can play out. Which isn't what he wanted, if it is, if that's the case.
No, I mean, if you just look at... I mean, last turn he didn't use 2 resources.
Yeah.
This turn he looks like he might not be using... I mean, we don't know, he might have some events, but... You know, that's a lot of wasted resources, whereas Andy's maximised every turn.
Yeah.
So
it was lucky he got that cruiser with the mouse droid, otherwise it might have been the other way around. But
yeah. So Andy's defending. So Ethan's gone in with Zeb at Entrenched. Andy's just probably going to full block here and try and take care of Zeb.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a few tactics out. I'd probably go for the nudges here, just to if I can tactics them out.
Yeah.
Or you could leave them unfocused, so you could pull them in with the cruiser. But it will depend whether or not he's going to win edge here. And I wouldn't have thought Andy wants to throw either of these cards, to be honest.
I think, like you say, I think the best bet is try and get rid of 3PO with the cruiser, and then, you know, with that moment of triumph, then that will deal with the nudges.
Oh yeah. Perfect kill.
So that's a nice pass from Andy. Ethan's just put a twist in, and Andy's gone, I'm just going to pass this.
That is a good call. Right.
So Andy's obviously not bothered about this.
He just doesn't care.
No. He's got that.
Oh yeah, here comes the bow rifle. So that's a resource used at least, and that's where you want your bow rifle usually.
Yeah. So he's 1 edge as well, which is nice. So that bomb is also activated on him. So he's swinging from 2. So Andy's probably deciding whether he's going to discard a card.
Yeah, because he'll lose that the Corvette, I expect.
Ethan's having a think here. It would be nice to get Chimera down to 1 health. So
yeah. Suddenly Chimera can't just go in and pretty much unopposed then.
But Andy's just Endor Entrapment.
Yeah.
So that's probably very frustrating for Ethan.
Yeah. So it was actually a Chimera that saved it.
Yeah. Right. So Andy's probably still now fairly happy here.
He's double focused Chimera as well, which he shouldn't have, but doesn't matter, I don't think.
I think this gets picked up. I think that there's quite a few of the spectators are now, we're all jumping up and down trying to get the attention of the judge. But keep an eye on that. It seems to be a running theme. Andy seems to be quite dedicated to double focusing that Chimera in this game.
Unlike how Darren
Yeah,
never does
yeah, yeah. Unlike Darren, who you have to remind him to focus his units.
It's just
just to focus in the first place.
it's just to keep you guys on your toes, just to make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah. So Ethan's just taking the force back. At least he's been able to take that force, so he's keeping himself in this game. But he needs to see a big turn, and he needs Andy to have a poor turn, which just doesn't happen very often with Navy draws, does it?
No. So I'm not sure, but is the dial only on 4? I suppose with 2 nudges.
Yeah, dial's on 4.
And he's taken the force a few times, so yeah, still only on 4, but that board's just getting too big on the dark side.
Oh, I've never seen someone focus 3PO so quick from a mouse droid, so that's probably stopped that Cruzy pulling him in, which is a really good play. It's something very simple, but it's a very, very, you can tell Ethan's a very good player. Not just the fact that he's in the semi-final here, but that he realises that 3PO is a very important unit and that he needs to do everything he can to keep it alive. So Andy's just played out a Gladiator, and I'm going to guess that security team's going to be hitting the board. It's another way of getting rid of 3PO this turn if he wishes.
I don't know how many cards has Ethan got? A couple, it looks like.
Yeah, but we know one of them's Zeb, don't we? So
yeah, you don't want to be thrown in the edge unless you have to.
No, but obviously Andy doesn't know that.
No. But Andy's probably still, so he's going in here. This is this is just
so typical of Andy, quite aggressive here. I think he's got the units to defend anyway, so I think this is the right call.
He's got the enhancement to free up Chimera or the Gladiator, whichever one he feels.
Then there's not a lot of danger with them at all. No big unit to defend, so no tactics, no Yoda with a load of guns, so they're pretty safe.
So Andy's just putting the one card in.
Well, just so then he can use the Gladiator if he needed to, but
he's decided not to put that
Imperial Fist
in. Maybe he's going to try and blow one of Ethan's objectives up in Ethan's turn, but I suppose he's not going to blow Spark up, so what's the point in putting a 1-pick card in an edge value you really want? So do you think he'll just... Yeah. So that's okay.
I think I might have used it at that point.
Yeah.
Myself.
Ooh.
I think you might as well. I don't think it's doing that much for you on defence. And he's only got Mythal to do it with. Oh, he's actually got 2 of them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think I would have put one in at that point. I mean, the beauty of the Gladiators is just you can just wait. Oh, he's not twisted, I'll put it in.
Yeah. So Andy had to put a 3-pick card in there, but he's got rid of that 3PO, which I think is a big...
That's a big thing.
Big thing.
He's not seen a moment of triumph yet, and he's probably quite likely to see one next turn. I mean, I don't think he really needs it, to be honest, but...
No, Ethan's not got the usual spark of 5 or 6 weenies on the board that all have the potential of this blast. And I think the lack of seeing Yoda has really held him back quite a lot as well. Because a lot of these attacks Andy wouldn't have been able to do if Yoda was there to defend. Yeah, with those guns and a black tactics, it's just...
Yeah. It just would have... Andy's board wouldn't have looked anywhere near as good on defence if he'd gone in when Yoda could defend and potentially win.
Yeah, but this must be really disappointing for Ethan that his deck just doesn't seem to have come together for him in this game at all. It's nothing worse than getting deep into a competition and then your deck just to kind of go, you know what, I've done all the hard work for you today.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. But this doesn't look too bad. He's got Kanan, Yoda, and Zeb in hand now. So it's looking a bit better, and he's not got a free commitment card. That's the only problem. But would you go for Zeb and Yoda here?
think so. I think Kanan's a bit too late to the party, really.
You need that. You need those bombs, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately. See, I'd almost potentially. He's got Chimera to defend there, that's the problem. I'm just thinking out loud here, but I was thinking just Zeb, get a bow rifle on him, and I think he's got a well equipped in hand.
Right. So
but the problem is Chimera can just, or something would just probably kill Zeb before we get to do a second attack.
Yeah.
So did you say Ethan's got a well equipped in hand, has he?
I think so. I thought I saw a fake card of some sort.
Oh.
It might be a target.
Or seeds, maybe. Looks like. No, I can't see.
Yeah, see again, Andy's got a big advantage that Chimera, he's not had to commit Chimera. So it's not vulnerable to seeds. I mean, he's got shields anyway.
So do you think Andy in this situation is just going to try and keep Chimera alive this turn? And he'll maybe sacrifice the gunship and Mythal a little bit more for defence?
I think definitely defend with Mythal, then those Imperial Fists come into play.
Yeah. You don't want to kill this child either, I don't think. Because then that's going to free up this commitment card. So I think that's why Andy's only defending with Mythal.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yep, so there is a seeds, but there's that fist. Oh, so it was a target and a seeds.
Right.
So maybe I didn't see a well equipped.
So Andy's probably pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think you're bang on right. Just defend with Mythal. You don't want to kill that unit.
Yeah. You don't want to make it. Andy's got the choice. He could blow Nay the Force up here if he wanted to, but see where he's chucking his damage. So,
but as we said, May the Force is basically blank at the moment.
Exactly.
So you don't want it to come out with an Asteroid Sanctuary or Gamor or something like that.
So yeah, at least that child's going to come back for Ethan next turn, isn't it? Because it's elite at the moment.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Ethan's now got a nice clear card advantage, I suppose. But with that security team on the board, you've got to keep some cards in hand, haven't you? They're so good.
Yeah.
It's that surprise unit, and then when they hit the board, they still give you a headache because you can't go all out. So that's what he's probably thinking here now is, if I do another attack, I'm probably going to lose. One of my big guys. The only one he can really attack with here now is Kanan.
Yeah.
Because he needs to be able to.
But he's also got the problem he can't take the Force.
Exactly. So he's just passing the turn. So that's the dials slowly just speeding up. Andy's been able to keep the Force these last, a bit more regularly now. And he's still got a fist in hand and 3 damage to move.
Oh, and a Yularen and a Tarkin, I just saw.
Oh man.
Yeah. Enforced is still just as bad, isn't it?
Make it limit 1. Limit 1 per deck.
1 I would have much preferred.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
So what's Andy going to go for here, do you think? Yularen and Tarkin?
Okay. Here comes a granny. Managed to get something with Spark again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't play Yularen.
Yeah, he's definitely worth bringing out because then the fate card could be used later on if they do get some more damage through.
Yeah. It just puts Ethan further and further back. I mean, he's almost back to square one.
Yeah.
And just running out of time.
Yeah, basically. And Andy's basically just, he's teed up every objective now, hasn't he?
Yep. He's ready to go, and I've got an Empire. He's got an Empire Strikes Back in his hand as well, so he's got the potential to win. Yeah,
the dial's on 5, isn't it? So yeah, if he blows all of these up, and he's still got that cruiser in, so in theory he doesn't even need the event because he could pull a nudge in as well. But if this was me, I'd probably just put Tarkin out and then I'd kind of pass the turn over. And
yeah, I don't think it's worth the risk. I think it's just a matter of time now, so no point possibly messing up a big attack.
Yeah, but I think he's far more aggressive as we've seen. So, in this situation, I'm probably playing out Tarkin. I'm going to blank the defense upgrade on Spark, just so Ethan's only going to have 4 resources next turn.
Yeah.
Can't play Falcon. Say,
yeah.
Basically, come at me. You know, you think you can get through this? Quite literally an Imperial blockade at the moment. Best of luck. And you've got to blow all 3 up, and I've got entrenched defences.
Yeah, there's practically no way through.
No. So Andy's...
he did just blank. Did he just blank Yoda in the conflict phase?
Yeah, so I think Andy's going for the win here. I think he's feeling pretty confident in his edge hand that he can win this turn. And in theory, he only has to do 2 engagements, doesn't he? Because he's got that fist in hand.
Correct. Yeah.
So he can move. He can blow one of these objectives up without even engaging it.
Yeah, and he's got a gladiator as well.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to necessarily overcommit to this first edge battle.
Yes. Although one of them objectives does have 6 health instead of 5.
But he doesn't even need to blow
that
that up.
Where he's going first, do you think?
Yeah, and he could put 5 on that, Baron, and then blank the resource at the start of Ethan's turn.
Drop it off.
That'd be a nice way to win.
It would feel fair.
That's what you do in a...
Tarkin just presses a button from afar.
Yeah.
And it just blows up.
That's what you would do in a friendly, but I don't think you do that in the semi-final.
No.
As well, so.
It's maybe a bit of a douchey way to win. I'd try and see if he can win with the mouse droid. That's what I'd be going for.
Yeah, so he's just deciding where he wants his shields here. So you're going to put 1 watt on... Oh no, so he's defending with more now. You've got to put 1 on Chimera, so you can definitely...
I don't think is he going in with Chimera? All right, he's just putting it on there.
Yeah, with the
reaction. Yeah.
And then you probably shield Yularen, I suppose, and then Yoda can't take care of both Yularen and the gunship here now. So this objective's basically gone, isn't it? Unless
do we know which one he's going in against?
No, but we might find out with this shield, depending on where the shield goes from the granny. I would expect it to go on the objective, because you've got. Even then, it's not going to be enough, is it?
Yeah, it's just.
He's got to defend with Yoda and the granny here, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the granny does, I think, unless he's got something like a seeds and a heat or something weird like that. But here he goes. So he's defending with everything now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. But even
that's it. He could win with the mouse droid now.
Yeah, mouse droid. Yeah. Well, it does have a nudge.
Oh yes, he does have a nudge. Lurking away at the bottom there.
Yeah. It thinks it's an enhancement.
Yeah.
At least Ethan's put, all his units to one side. It's when you get those nudges and R2s right next to in the middle of enhancements.
Yeah.
That's when I get upset about it.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started.
There's no real board condition where you have to lay the board out, is there? So some people do it all over the place.
No, it's true. There's no official way, is there?
No. So Andy's one edge there.
Objectives down the middle. The one that gets me is the affiliation card over the other side.
Yeah, next to the discard pile.
That cost me a Nationals match.
Yeah. You know who you are.
Right.
Yeah, Rowan.
You say it was that. I think it was lack of sleep and Jaeger bombs, but
maybe.
So Andy's one edge. So I think this game's pretty much over. To be honest, he's one edge. He's got a tactic, so he can just lock out that nudge. So he's going to have Ethan will have no defenders.
Yeah. So Yoda's going to take a couple of things out, but he can't take Chimera out for another attack.
No.
Because if he could, that would be enough, wouldn't it?
No, because Andy's still got Tarkin, and he only needs an unopposed basically on that middle objective, doesn't he?
Oh right, sorry, because he's going to use. Did he use his Empire Strikes Back?
No, he's still got that and a fist in hand.
Right, okay.
So in theory, he could send Chimera in at Spark, play Imperial
both up, yeah.
play Imperial Fist and win by blowing up the one who's not engaged, or he could mouse droid the middle objective, which does seem.
I'd go for the mouse droid,
and then you still got Chimera for the backup for the win. But I think Ethan's been really unlucky in this game. You know, he had 3 mains. The game was already over when he drew into those 3 mains. So.
It's being forced to defend. I think is quite a problem, isn't it? When the Creuset pulls you in, that's quite a problem. Sometimes.
Yeah, and he's seeing those early mouse droids. He's seen his resources.
He's seen 2 Yularans and 2 Fists. Because 1 Yularan's already in the discard. He actually discarded a Yularan. And
Chimera with the what's it called? Early warning system.
Yeah.
You know, killer combination. Just be that unit being able to attack and defend.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's basically may the force be with you, but you can do it every turn.
Yeah.
Just looking at Tarkin Doctrine's whole pod, everything is so good in there now. I was playing people the other day and they were still playing out Rule by Fear because they had so many resources.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
So Andy takes that game pretty comfortably. So he goes on to the final to play Nick. And he's got to win 2 games in a row now. So, but yeah, I don't think Ethan made any mistakes there. It was just one of those. Unfortunately for him, his deck let him down a little bit.
Unfortunately, you fall behind Navy. It can be very, very difficult to get back sometimes.
Navy's a tough one to pull back. I like some of the things that just kill all the units. Jedi have a couple, or have one, don't they? Desperation is another one. Sometimes I think you need a board clearance.
Yeah, it can be just something. I think it can be a psychological thing with that sometimes. You just think, I want to have a board clearance because I never want to feel like I'm out of a game.
Yes.
Whether it's the best way to go is difficult to say, but I think it is kind of you. If you've got a desperation, you've got my ally is the force, you do feel like you've always still got a chance.
I think my ally is the force is a very, very good one. That really brings you back in.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, great. Well, we'll get the next game up as soon as we can. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Right, thank you. See you next time.